He was a historian, a cougar historian, a proud cougar.
My name's Alan Basso. I am one of the port commissioners.
His dedication to service was beyond anybody that I know. Fireman, teacher, and of course, port commissioner.
Yeah, Al was a super intelligent guy.
When we go to DC or we are involved in our lobbying effort, his knowledge of history was great. And he would throw out these factoids that were just spectacular as we'd walk around the Capitol.
We were at a port seminar, and we're all standing around a Christmas tree trying to get a picture. And, you know, people were kind of paying attention, not paying attention. Not everybody's smiling at the same time. Finally, Alan threw out one of his cougar husky jokes. And I can't say the joke, but it was great. Everybody smiled, everybody laughed. We nailed the picture. So
A commissioner's job is to represent the community and the values that the community has. Al was really good about that. He really grasped that role and would let us know when there was something going on that we needed to be aware of. He spent most of his career dealing with people on the worst days of their lives and managing people in very difficult situations. So when it came to the business of the port, he didn't sweat the small stuff.
he had incredible knowledge of the history of Kalama, the history of our port, the families that helped build the area since the port was established. And he brought that to the table in a lot of our decision making. It was nice to hear that perspective with such a genuine person. He was all about the facts. That was very much appreciated and allowed the other commissioners to do their job with even more confidence.
You know, we've got such a rich history here, and this interpretive center will show how really distinctive our past is and how our roots have created what we are today.
Since Alan's been on the commission and has grown tremendously, you know, and one of the things that Alan really was a supporter of was the new McMinimans Harbor Lodge, because Alan did like a glass of beer now and then. That made it close to home and on the deck with a good view of the river. Alan was very, very supportive of creating jobs and of economic development in Kalama. He's a native boy. He's multi-generation. He lived on the family farm. He and Vicki were very, very, they know everybody in town. And they were very well loved.
Absolutely, it's been one of the busiest times in the history of the port, Al's tenure here. We've constructed somewhere over 70, almost $80 million worth of infrastructure here at the port, including things like this interpretive center and office built just this last spring. The locomotive was added as the centerpiece of the interpretive center. And when we were rolling it down the road and bringing it up to and into the building, Al was here watching every move, because it's a historic moment for us to bring something that historic back to the community. For Al, being a history major, this was a really an exciting component to the project for him. Some of the projects that Al was a part of was the remodel of the Temco grain elevator, which was nearly $200 million in investment in the community. There's the Spencer Creek Business Park. There's the remodel of our marina here on the waterfront. Yeah, with Haydu Park, I think that was part of the commitment that Al and the other commissioners have to the community. They know the importance of youth sports. They know the importance of public recreation to this community and to the greater region.
Wednesday nights during the summer, McMinimans puts on a concert, straight out 50 feet, and right in the middle of the stage area was Alan and Vicki and his daughter, in-laws, and lots of friends. And it was those accomplishments of recreation that Alan got the most joy in, the fact that he was contributing to the community and they were enjoying it.
I think the thing that almost everyone admired about Alan was his smile. He brightened the room when he came in.
Yeah, Alan had a really dry wit about himself.
Alan had a very dry wit.
His dry wit and humor were famous.
He would come up with some things and it would just totally put smiles and laughter out there. It could be the most serious moment. He would make it very light. He could really control a room with that wit.
It was getting towards the end of an evening at one of our Washington Public Ports conferences. There was a reception and there was a big group of people, and we've all known each other for years. And there's a gentleman from the Port of Tacoma that always comes with a guitar, or if there's a piano in the room, he'll sit down and just start playing music. You know, it's kind of a big sing-along, and then towards the end of the evening, Al grabbed a chair and sat down in the middle of everybody and got this guy to play American Pie. And Al sang every single word to that song without missing a beat from beginning to end. And I think that song's got to be, 7 minutes long, something like that. And he hit every single word, but not every single note. It's a good thing he kept his day job as a firefighter, because it wasn't going to be a singing career.
When you thought the conversation was over, you know, and the discussion was over, there was always one last comment that came from Alan, and maybe he didn't even say anything the whole time during the conversation, but he listened. The whole time he listened.
Kalama is so tied together with the families that have been here for so long. But it's just really cool, his the grounding that the history of the families and the community brings. I've become far more aware of how many lives he touched in the community since his passing, because there's so many people now that have stepped forward and expressed their loss. All of us just remember how warm he was, remember how much he really cared about people. And I think you see that with the kids in the school. We had a career fair a few years ago, and Al came out representing the port as a port commissioner, but he was also a substitute teacher at the school. And he would go up there, and the kids would just flock to him at our booth just to talk to Mr. Basso. And so I think Al was a lot of different people depending on the situation he was in.
He is going to be missed. He's already missed.
My daughter gave me a quote for Alan Basso. It's wherever a beautiful soul has been, there is a trail of beautiful memories.